On a short form promotional video for my song Birmingham Bin Strike, the Newcastle band and friends of the channel Polyvinyl suggested I try to get Count Binface to use this as his theme. This is in relation to the upcoming Clacton by-election, triggered by Reform MP and party leader Nigel Farage vacating his seat, seemingly due to scrutiny into his finances from the media and political authorities. He will run again, and his intention is for this to be a people versus the establishment election. But all of the other major political parties have chosen not to sit a candidate, and now Farage's main opponent is this novelty candidate named Count Binface. In this video, I want to talk about the use of popular music in political events, to contemplate why politicians might want to use popular songs, and also look at it from the artist's point of view. What are the pros and cons of featuring your art in such an overtly political context? Being from the UK, I want to start with Ream and their song Things Can Only Get Better, famously used during Tony Blair's campaign for the Labour Party, who would go on to win the 1997 general election. The party were going through something of a rebrand at the time, finally catching up with the new vision of Britain ushered under Conservative Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher the previous decade, and this song would play a major part in that. Though Thatcher had her controversies, she was generally seen as the leader who had turned the country's fortune around after the dismal economic climate of the 1970s. By the mid-90s, however, policies like the poll tax and events such as Black Wednesday created something of a fall from grace for the Conservative Party in government. A bold and optimistic vision for the upcoming new millennium was needed, and the so-called New Labour were ready to provide. It is said that whatever happens in American politics will eventually find its way here in some form. I think the influence for Labour to feature a pop song so prominently in their campaign came from Bill Clinton and his famous use of Fleetwood Mac's Don't Stop in the run-up to him becoming US President. The use of the song here did help Clinton come across as more relatable in the eyes of voters. But also, I think America in the early 90s had this sense of economic optimism. This idea that there was a generation that had been able to thrive in this new economic climate, and now moving forward, successive generations could be even more prosperous. When Ream first released their song in January 1993, it initially only reached number 24 on the UK charts. However, getting to tour as the opening act for Take That changed their fortunes, and a reissue of the song made it to the summit, remaining there for 4 weeks. Getting onto New Labour's radars, the song was quickly seen as embodying the dynamic change the party themselves were undergoing. This is an uplifting pop song that reflected the trends in music at the time. Plus, the fact that there was nothing political about its lyrics meant the song could be utilised for a broad appeal. It also had the benefit of being a damn good celebration song when Labour did indeed become the governing party. In the 21st century, this trend of using popular songs at political events has become more common, both in the US and the UK. After looking a bit silly, attempting to dance with African schoolchildren in 2018, former Prime Minister Theresa May took to the stage at the same year's Conservative conference to the soundtrack of Abba's Dancing Queen, in a moment perhaps of self-deprecating humour and trying to win back the narrative. In 2022, Liz Truss hit the same stage to the song Moving On Up, although in this case, recording artist MP were not too happy about it. Indeed, not every artist is happy to see their songs be used in a political context, and some politicians endure a lot of pushback. Did you know there is a whole Wikipedia article citing instances of musicians opposing Donald Trump from using their music? Ariana Grande and Jess Glynn are two artists who have also used their statements to criticise the Republican leader's policies, while Adele actually went on to endorse the opposing candidate. Ream said it was their manager that pushed them to make this collaboration with New Labour, and the band actually split the same year as the election. They got back together in 2008 and successfully did get their music used in different contexts, such as Sunderland AFC supporters singing this song at matches. But then, a viral moment in 2024 brought the band right back to where they were. As Rishi Sunak called the 2024 general election, spirits were low. The sight of him attempting to look defiant while standing in the rain, calling an election the party were inevitably going to lose, really summed up how British people felt about politics in that moment. But for anti-conservative activist Stephen Bray, there was also an opportunity here for humour. As Sunak walked up to the lectern and made his speech, numerous news mics also picked up another sound. The sound of Ream's #1 hit single being played through a portable PA speaker in a moment of trolling clearly aimed at the governing party. Things could only get better? Well, right now, they certainly couldn't get any worse. Personally speaking, before making this video, I had no idea who Ream were, and that they were the band who wrote this hit song. I expect I'm not alone in that experience. While the song's association with British politics has likely given it a much greater staying power and put that chorus in the heads of a great many more people, it's also something of a shallow victory for the band. What is the good of people knowing your song if they themselves do not know nor care about the artist that made it? Likewise, both Tony Blair and New Labour had their own fall from grace, the 2003 invasion of Iraq contributing greatly to that. After the 2024 viral moment for the song, Ream made a public statement to say that they did not want Keir Starmer's Labour Party to use the song. The current iteration of Labour owe a lot of influence to New Labour, but here was one piece they could not reuse. As I told people about my current quest to get Count Binface to feature this song in his election campaign, one friend asked me, "Is that what you want?" Perhaps recognising the potential brand damage that such a feature could cause. In any other context, I probably wouldn't want this outcome, but this election feels different. This by-election feels like something out of a political satire. It's hard to take it seriously at face value. Count Binface is a novelty candidate, and his humorous policies feel more like a protest. Likewise, Reform are a serious party with a genuine vision for Britain's future. But right now, I feel like those policies have been overshadowed. Firstly, by controversy around Farage's actions, and frankly by the by-election itself. I think if there was ever a harmless political endorsement, this would be it. But I will dare to make one statement. Nigel Farage has described this by-election as the people versus the establishment, and though I broadly agree, I think he has it backwards. Because Farage is someone who has been in the public eye for decades now. The policies he stands for, at least to my eyes, do align with much of the mainstream media, especially in print in this country. And his cabinet in waiting has the backing of some very wealthy and powerful people. Farage was very vocal about wanting the UK to leave the EU, and since that vote in 2016, I think his influence on British politics has only grown. So using the song Birmingham Bin Strike would reflect that. This is a song written by someone of the working class that begins from the point of view of an ordinary working person and then goes on to look into why these workers went on strike and admittedly sympathise with that. Many of Count Binface's policies are jokes, but they're jokes that cut to something deeper. My song is definitely not a joke, but I think its use would also cut at something deeper. It would proclaim that it is in fact Count Binface that represents ordinary working people in this by-election. And that is a statement I'm willing to be associated with.